This is the post-game show here on IslandTrack.com. I'm your host, Earl Basin. With me is Punchy Deal and Maceo Deal. Gentlemen, Bermuda have gone down 2-0, two second half goals. Um, let's break it down into where we are awaiting the arrival of coaches to talk about the matches. So once we have the coaches seated at the press conference table, we'll go to them. But looking at it realistically, let's break down that first half. Punchy, your thoughts on the display of Bermuda in the first 45 minutes?
I thought, so to speak of I guess the crowd itself came up expectation. The expectation of the crowd was like, oh yes, we're gonna really show today what we're made of. But I was very disappointed in how we played in the first half. You know, if you think about it, only one shot on target. It had a lack of control and tempo of the game. If I would tell you what the possession wise, it in terms of the perception of the game, I thought that Guyana were much in doing that. It's keeping us, keeping the ball from our opponent's time, dictating the pace of the game, and it could have been 3-0 in the first 25 minutes. So, very disappointing result.
Well, we do have Coach Kyle Lightborn at the table right now. We're gonna go to that press conference momentarily. Let's go right to that.
All right, Kyle, I'll start off then. And obviously, nothing result. We're looking forward to today. Disaffecting the new dashes our hopes of qualifying for the Cup. Everyone is over. Thoughts on that first and foremost?
Yeah, I mean, disappointed that the result, we didn't get the result today. We didn't really play the way we would have liked to have played for whatever reason. Just didn't happen. Took us a while to really break through the lines and all of that. It was a nothing game. Like they had their moments, and first half was I thought it was a poor game from us.
And then going forward, obviously, just been a lot of speculation about Naki's future. Where do we stand on that now that this game is done and dusted?
Well, he's going to make his decision on that. That's totally up to him. So, yeah.
Right. So now it's a matter of now on the World Cup. However, we're still now battling, in a relegation battle now.
Yeah, there's no relegation from this group as we were notified. So that's a blessing in disguise to a degree. Like I said, I was disappointed with the way we played first half. And the way we came out second half, we started a little brighter, but we let in two very sloppy goals. Very sloppy goals. The first one, the ball comes in head height. I think we need to clear it. We should clear that easily. But it ends up in the back of our net. But at the end of the day, when we brought on a lot of the youngsters that, they look to play and they look bright and sharp and they didn't give up. The game was going, but we weren't able to get a goal to make it a, helter-skelter at the end. I think the guys that had debuts, they actually done themselves proud. Especially Harry Twite. I thought he played really well for an international debut. It was difficult for REA and difficult for Jai Pitt, but they showed fight and character and determination. So that's the disappointing side of it. But when Deniche came on, Cine, Sincerho, I thought they livened it up for us a little bit.
If you have to rate
the performance overall? What would you give it?
I would give it a 5.
What are the areas we need to really improve on?
Being able to play through the lines better. Yeah, I think we've lost that in the players that are not available for this one. So, i.e. Reggie, Willie Clemens. Those are bold, ticky-tacky players, and we really need a replacement for Bless his soul, Sergeant Bascom. So we're searching for that department. It's going to take time. I think saw a little bit of grass growing later on in the game with the younger players that's come through. So it's difficult to, I would say, play all of them at the same time. But they were exciting when they came on. That's the bright spot of today.
How do you control those emotions though? Because they're young, they want to play, but some of them didn't start. So how do you plan to control those emotions of making sure that when they do get the opportunity, they kind of shine the way they did this afternoon?
Yeah, we just have to manage it right. We need games. We need to make sure that we're playing every window in order to improve. We're dealing with a new bunch to a certain degree. I think the next window, some of the players that we weren't able to pick for whatever reason, it would have been even a lot younger. But that's the way it goes.
Looking at it, okay, so we move on from today. We go into Tuesday. As the coach, what are you hoping and what are you looking for from this particular team?
What I'll be looking for, my first thoughts is that we don't shy away from us trying to play football. Which I think today at certain times, we didn't take the bulls by the horn and say, well, we're going to play. We managed to get to halftime and 0-0, but 2 sloppy goals, I thought they were better than us in possession, by far better than us. So yeah, we have to work hard to get back to where we were.
How do you and the coaching staff kind of get yourselves back together? Because clearly you're disappointed with everything, with the overall performance and all. But as the leader you had, how do you get yourself together and then work on the team?
No, this has to go. This game's going. Yeah, it has to go. I take lessons from it. You can't have good. Take lessons from it. Like I said, the blessing in the sky is that there's no relegation from this group. So, we have to keep building with these youngsters that we have. It weren't a disgraceful performance, but it was a performance that we could have done better in possession of the ball. That's what I would say. Possession of the ball, we didn't use it as good as we can.
They had to choose the ball. Obviously, group leaders, Haiti, big pass. You confident this team can bounce back? Can we group and bounce back?
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult task against Haiti. We know that. And it's all about showing pride, determination, guts. I think we've been in this position as far as, people write you off. That's when you come back fighting even harder. Because we had some good results on the road. We have had good results on the road and good performances. But we have to do it again. We have to. It just shows where we are as far as a footballing nation that, and I have to speak to this, is that we, Bermuda, we have been made a lot of other nations believe that they can get to where we were. And I spoke about that with the players. When you're up there everybody wants to shoot you down. You know, because I've been in meetings with other coaches and all that. How you guys do this? You know, but today may seem like it's a little disjointed, but in my eyes, I saw that the grass is starting to grow in other areas. Yeah, and so the result is the most disappointing day. The performance first half, but the last 20 minutes or 15 minutes of the game, I think I was a lot more pleased with it than the rest of it.
All right, well, onward and up.
Yeah, onward and upward.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes, sir.
cool.
And you had enough tomorrow?
Yeah, we leave first thing in the morning.
All right.
Yep.
The mic's still hot. I'm going to say something to you.
Yes, mate. Yes.
All right, I'll check you.
So you're not getting What up, coach? Discuss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Coach, congratulations on your performance today, or getting the victory today. Talk about the overall intentions of Guyana coming to Bermuda and able to execute.
Well, I think we knew the quality of the Bermuda team when they came to Guyana. It was a close game, and we expected a close game again. And we wanted to be very cautious at first because we saw a good team and a very, very good crowd. You know, Bermuda is starting to become a football country because now I came here in 2011 with the Guyana team and the crowd was not so vociferous, you know. Now we see a 12th man and this created a real atmosphere. Thought our guys settled faster. We had less nerves because so much pressure on the Bermuda team. And we settled, and I think that gave us a little advantage. But credit to the Bermuda team, they never stopped playing. In fact, in the last 10 minutes, I was praying that it turned out to be 2 minutes because it was a very nervous period. Just like 12 years ago in 2011, when they scored, we equalized, and then was the most nervous 15 minutes. This has taken over that period now.
So, coach, in terms of the World Cup qualifications, you're still very much on course. Must be pleased about that.
Yeah, realistically, we don't expect to win the group because we think Haiti will run away with it mathematically. We're really realistically looking for one of the preliminary spots, and you know that's looking good for us now. We happy for that.
What do you think about overall the team's overall performance today? I thought they were very organized, kept us shape throughout, took their chances.
Yeah, I thought we showed good confidence to put the ball down and play. You know, we didn't just play kickball. Even at times when Bermuda really piled on the pressure, I'm proud of how the guys kept the ball and kept the shape and kept the discipline.
Congratulations again. All the best going forward.
When you obviously that first half, You say you settled faster, created some chances. But what was the technical difference made in that second half that allowed you to go forward a little more freer?
I think belief. I think in the second half, given how the first half went, our guys had more belief, and we kept saying, if we get one in, let's get our nose in front, and we did just that, and that opened up a whole lot of confidence. Also the fact that we really wanted to shut down Naki Wells. We read that this could possibly be his last game for Bermuda, and we know he would play with a big heart, and we crowded him a lot, and put him under a lot of pressure, and he handled it well, and this is why at the end we gave him a standing ovation, because this is a warrior for Caribbean football, and we have a lot of players. We know what it is to travel across the Atlantic, to come back to play, and to lose your place in the team. We know that sacrifice, and we wanted to give him that honor, for him to understand that we understand, as a Caribbean player, as one of the players who walk in the footsteps of Clyde Best. We feel that with him. It was really an emotional moment for us as well, because this is a player we have tremendous respect, sometimes fear. This is a player.
So we want to thank you very much. Encourage you to keep on. Look out for the next time you face these Warriors down here in Bermuda. As they say around the Caribbean, we owe you one.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
And we're back here. We've heard from both coaches at the press conference. We heard the Guyana coach give praise to Naki Wells. As he stated, not just for Bermuda, but for the Caribbean, for CONCACAF. Knowing when a player is settled in a team overseas and would give up that opportunity to come back and and possibly lose their spot in their national team, in their league team, is a big chance that you take. But Punchy, let's get back to that first half. Take us through your thoughts on that first half.
I just thought again that the first half was completely dominated. They came with a real good plan here, and you could tell by the first 10 to 15 minutes that they had created already 2 and 3 clear-cut chances. But also in the first half, I just thought that they also played with intent, that they were coming here to make sure that the performances was going to be good. They really did do the homework, and I just thought that wow, uh, Bermuda no shots on goal in the first half. Guyana 3 clear shots. It could have been 3-0, as I said earlier, in the first half. So the game plan really worked for them.
So, just on that, let's get back to. I mean, we had pregame sort of thoughts once we knew the starting team. It seemed to be a balance in between creativity and physical. So we talked about not having the midfielders that could get the ball
Mhm.
forward. We saw the difference what happened in the second half when we had ball handlers on the ability to get the ball forward. Do you think that we missed something in our selection of the initial 11
Truly so, Maceo. Truly so. Again, it comes down to what style of play, what the style of play are we going to be? Are we going to play like? Because I saw the same thing when we played Guyana before. 4 passes at the back and then over the top, and then you got Zeke Lewis, you've got the Kewells, and then you got Jai Bean, who played exceptionally well today. But then you're going to next find out, well, where's the supply route going to come from? And it wasn't there. They were fighting. They were fighting for just about every ball in the first half. What you saw in the second half was that more creativity, more players that they've come out of the back row. They look uh, much more confident in the way they were attempting to score. And I just figured what you and I talked about earlier, basically before this game, the pregame, is that what players will be selected for position, which is most important. How effective will we be to get the ball to the key wells, Zico Lewis, and Jai B? And it wasn't, you didn't see much of that at all in the first half.
I think that first half, I guess, in a sense, it looked as if we struggled for our identity to figure out how we were going to get those passes to those guys. If you saw a lot of, when we had the ball at the back, it was a lot of back to the goalkeeper, try the other side. We never looked like we wanted to go forward. And it was almost like we were waiting for them to come forward, which they didn't, and then it was them to boot up the field kind of thing. You know, at times we looked disjointed, you know, players shouting at each other. You know, it just looked as if we weren't a unit as a whole.
I mean, the coach said it. Carl said they were poor.
Mm.
Carl, I mean, that was his words. That
Yeah.
his team was
First
poor.
half was poor.
The first half was poor,
Mm.
but we're gonna have the deeper conversation. The selection of the team, the selection of the team. So he went with two ball winning midfielders in Simmons or Aurier Simmons and Roger Lee.
Mhm.
Two players that win the ball, but they don't have the ability to create that,
Distribute, yeah.
to distribute. So then I see Sensor Hall come on that can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I see players that can do that we didn't select to start the game. So we gotta have the conversation about coaching information. Now, the coaching information and the selection, because that's what the coaches is capable of impacting.
Mm-hmm.
The last game against Haiti, and I want to bring up this point because it's a crucial point. I'm getting hits from all the young players, and they're speaking about coaching, and we talked to the president about where is our gap. So I remember the last game we Carl brought in a mate of his from last
Yes.
to help out.
Yes.
Now,
Coaching.
with the coaching,
Mm-hmm.
is that evidence? And that's why I want to ask: is that evidence that the coaching staff of Ray Jones around him, Sequoia Robinson around him, Maurice Sloat, are they got the international pedigree to give information that's needed at right times to help them? Because we went outside to bring in that, and we had a good performance against Haiti.
Mhm.
And that was, if you look at what happened at Haiti, even though we lost, you got information coming in, and at that time, that coach spots Deniche Hill,
Mm-hmm.
and you see Deniche is healed today. His game was much better today than it was the last time.
Yes. Yes.
So we gotta hone in on where our gap is,
Mhm.
where our gap is, and how we pick our gap, because it is an exciting group of young players that are capable of coming through. But if we don't get the right information to them
Mhm.
and the right support, coaching around them, we're going to lose a generation of players. And I like to always use United as the example. It's the same players, it's just a new coach with different information. And look at what the players are doing.
Mm.
So we have to openly have this conversation about how do we bridge the gap, because it is an exciting group of young players. I actually, the last 20 minutes of the game, with Sensor Hall coming on, Jai Bean, Deniche Hill, I can imagine a talker around that.
Mhm.
I can imagine if we can reach out, it's time that we try to reach out to also the goalkeeper in Trot,
Nathan Trot.
Nathan Trot. We have potential, but we need the right support around them. And I said to say, this is no criticism. This is no. I don't think Ray Jones, Sequoia Robinson, and even the Maurice Slow at Maurice does a good administration job, have the pedigree or have the proven racket at this level to be given information there. Like, do we now talk about a Sean Goda as a coach? Do we Sean Goda's in the environment? Do we talk about a Sean Goda coming into the foreplay as because we're talking about we want to go to the World Cup
Mhm.
and it's possible, but we've got to get the right people around these players, man. I can't hop on that too so much. We got to get the right people around these players. Sure.
I'm glad you said Sean as opposed to, because a lot of people honestly believe we should go to a foreign coach. I would say this: when we get a foreign coach, right, we find a lot of funds to have that foreign coach in the island.
Right.
We don't offer it to our local coaches the same funding,
Exactly. I agree.
so they're getting treated a lot differently. But we want those same things. Now, if the funding was available for our local coaches, maybe we can send them to get the extra experience. Maybe we can. You understand what I'm
I
saying?
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all part of it, and I know there was a conversation around Sean Gooder previously based on the pay package.
Right.
So let's understand that. Let's openly talk about that. I think Sean Gooder is also in a new space.
Yes.
He's in a new space where he's settled in what he's learning and being exposed to at Man City, working under the likes of Pep Guardiola.
Right.
Sean Gooder could be our solution to going forward. And I'm not saying Sean Gooder without Carl Leipold, and I don't mind.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting that, but we just have to have our best. And we talked about our best players not being here, but I don't think we've got our best coaches either. You know, we
I remember there was a time where I'm trying to remember who the coach was, but he included several club coaches. Do you remember who that was? Who was that? Was it Andrew?
no,
Or was it Kenny?
I can't remember that where we had
Where
our
we had,
best, our
even
best
at the training
local coaches.
sessions, we had the coaches from
Yeah.
clubs come to the training session, be part of the training session, just so that the information that the players were getting at the national team training, the coaches were understanding that and taking it back to their
Taking it
clubs.
back.
So it was like an open.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who was involved in that there, but it was something where
The person that would have done that would have been reaching out would have been DeVar Boyles. DeVar Boyles was always trying to bridge that gap because he knew the foundation of club.
I think it was.
Yeah,
yes,
DeVar
yes.
Boyles would have been the one.
Yes, that's who it
I
was.
worked with DeVar Boyles. I came up. I was working at the national program on DeVar Boyles. He has that school teacher piece
Right,
about him that he knows we need the best of the best around
right.
to get the to get the information.
And he
I
knew-
don't think we got the best of the best. I mean, me and Country watched the situation where Ray Jones huddled everybody up on the bench and start giving information, and I just wonder what that information looks like. I just wonder, does he have the credibility as a coach to give that type of information out there? Can you get him the key valves to listen to? Can you get these type of players to listen to that? So we just have to have that conversation because we can't afford to lose and frustrate a generation of players that are coming through because they're coming through. The boys say Soro could play.
He showed that
He showed he could play.
that 12
And
minutes.
I can just imagine if you had the others around them, that are out there, and you had the information and the style. And I like to also talk about Carl Leipold's style versus the players. So his style went with what we selected. It was like very safe
Right,
against a Guyana.
right.
A guy very safe in what he picked in the midfield. When we went on, I thought his boy Daniel was getting it handed to him physically because he couldn't keep up.
Right, right.
And I was thinking,
They attacked
okay,
him on that side.
they attacked him. I said, are you going to change that halftime? Are you going to offer the protection halftime? It didn't happen.
Right,
The first goal came from down that left
right,
side,
right.
And then when we got our backs up the wall, then we go on the offense, and we look much better.
Right.
So why didn't we do that from the start?
Mm.
Why didn't we risk that from the start? Like, so it's just a frustration. I'm putting my coaching hat on my, and I think Carl, I'm not sure what his future is, what he wants to do, but I think he needs better. I think he need better people, better support staff around him,
Right.
Because I do understand he understands the game at an international level. I know that, you know. But I don't know that the rest of the people understand it at an international level. So I'm putting a plug out there
Right.
for Sean Gooder. Let's have the conversation with Sean Gooder.
But
Let's
Earl,
have the conversation with the different coaches that are around Bermuda.
right. And Earl, there was something that was the guy and the coach said. You know, we're becoming a lot of conversations now
Right.
at FIFA. You know, well, this little small island, it's a serious, but you got the key routes.
Mhm.
You talk about Sean Good. You know, these names come say he come from Bermuda. So now we're in these conversations, and what's adding to what Maceo said is that now we've got to get this picture right. We got to get this puzzle right. We got to start putting it together. Okay, now look what we have in our future. You see some displays today.
Mhm.
Once they got the jitters out, they were okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you call the young man, tweeter, what's his name?
Harry White.
Harry Twite.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, he was suffering for that.
Yeah.
Okay, Kyle decided to stay with him. But the last 20 minutes with the ball handlers, look how he relaxed it. Shot.
Yes.
Look how, but what it was so good about it is that you could see he just relaxed more,
Mhm.
right? And I thought you could just see when players are like that, you get
Around
more
them.
players around you.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, you play the ball, you play. You could see
Once-
you pass a ball to what we saw in the last 15, 20 minutes in congested areas. These players are coming out. So now you're thinking, whoa, I could play.
Mhm.
What is it again? Going back to the style, the information from the players, and the selection of the team. I would prefer that what I saw the last 20 minutes. It's something good. It was good to watch. The crowd was excited. It was like, yes, oh yes, this is what we should have been like. You could hear what people saying. I spoke also with it's funny because Pepe Deal and Larry Smith was behind me, and just speaking with them. Again, disappointed. They also were saying about the style, the look like the team ran out of ideas, and they also spoke about Guyana themselves. Guyana came, the physical. We were not going to compete with them physically today. So there had to be another plan and a
Yeah.
selection of players.
I noted in the first half how much more physical they were, and you look at it, they towered above our players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you mentioned Harry Twite when they took Dante off, Twite went into the middle, Reece James went out wide.
And
Right?
Jalen in the middle also.
Right, because they went to 40 back.
That's
Toward the
right.
back.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And him playing in the middle, you saw his game and his confidence in the game. So
For the system that
Yeah.
suits what we're
Yes.
doing.
yes,
So that's the point that I'm making.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the timing of it, like why didn't we not start like that?
Mm.
Like I could see we talked about three down the back, like you see we struggled.
right.
Like we was playing three down the back, we was pushing those wing backs way high,
Mhm.
was suggested that we had the quality to get the ball to him.
Right.
But we didn't.
Yeah.
So what was happening? You was leaving Daniel 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Where he couldn't handle it 1-on-1.
Yeah.
But if you was at a back foot now we have a system that suits the players that we're in and we're a little bit more comfortable, and this is
Yeah.
where we're getting it wrong.
And I think
That's where
that
yeah, we're getting it
4-3-3
wrong.
system in Bermuda with the
Yeah.
players we have right now at our disposal is probably the best system we could play.
Yeah,
Because
Yes.
that's what we all grew up with.
we just
Okay,
simplify it.
simplify
Or
it. Yeah.
simplify it
Yeah.
till we get our legs.
Right.
You-
Once you get into the game, you can start
Yeah.
making adjustments to see if it works. If it don't work, you go back to your
Mhm.
um,
I thought Earl, and I thought he should have made this adjustment at halftime. I think he should. Because I was expecting, okay, let's see what he's gonna. This should make an adjustment. So he went on with this for the next 15 minutes, and again, 3 substitutions, and the game started to change.
Mhm.
You're thinking about Guyana, okay? What I saw today again, if they're allowed, of course, robust players, can handle the ball, right? But in the final third, they're still
They were poor.
they were poor.
They were poor in the
They were
final
poor in the
third.
final third. Now let's reverse that and see if our front three, if there was supply route, something something's going to happen with
Happened
McGee
wild
and Jai again with
Yeah.
Jai. I mean, you see the work
John
rate.
showed
Yeah.
flashes of what he is capable of.
Oh yes,
in
yes.
spurts.
It was a moment in the game where Carl realized, well, Jai's going to be the number 9, and
Mhm.
Nicky Val's going to be the number 10.
Right.
Nicky Val's not going to serve his Jai.
Yeah.
Because he's holding the ball up and he can get Nicky Val. But this is a point to make. He figured that out under this circumstance.
Right.
If he was at the beginning of the
Mhm.
Nations League, we would have figured that out
Right.
before.
Right.
So again, using games of this magnitude to figure out things is
Mhm.
just not good enough.
Right.
It's not
Right.
good enough that we use it. I knew, and we talked. I know that he was the number 9.
Mm.
Put him up there and let him know the ball. He brings other people. He can bring the key. He can create those things and put players around him.
Right.
But we took this game to figure it out. We're doing that too much,
Right. Right.
and that makes me ask the question: if we're, well, why we're not figuring it out in training? Who's giving the information? Who's giving the information? Why we don't figure out that this can happen like this in training? Or why we're waiting to a game to figure this out?
Mm. Mm.
And again, I've worked with older coaches in Bermuda through one capacity. I've worked with Sean Good. I watched, and me and the bunch was talking about commentating and analyzing games using a different vision.
Mm.
We have to now employ all our resources. We have to, we see what we're doing media wise here, that we're impacting the door process. You know, we're not making the decisions, but we're impacting the door process.
Right.
So Bermuda, there has to be a conversation for Sean Good. We have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
For do we get Sean Good? And I'm with you like that. I'm not saying just let's fork out, $200,000, $300,000 to bring a foreign if we're not exhausted the likes of a Sean Good.
Right.
We're not exhausted all the people that can go around. And I saw what he did to North Village and Hawks. I saw when Sean Good came to North Village, all our North Village players were like, here's an English coach, he kicks it long, he does this here. And slowly but surely, they realized, no, he's actually a North Village and Bermuda player.
Mm.
But you need both of them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, disappointing result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Just so I'm clear in the public's mean. I heard Carl say that there's no
There's no
relegation
relegations
issue from this group.
But
So we're not getting promoted. And we're not going to go to the Gold Cup.
Right. That's what this result
So
definitely means now.
Right.
this is
If we had won, we had an opportunity
Yeah.
to go in a playoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Guyana has already secured that by
That.
this victory today,
Mhm.
that they can possibly get into a playoff.
and Guyana could get promoted up into another group, possibly
a
higher group.
No, they'll come second. Only the first place team will get promotion.
will get
Yeah.
promoted. So
The
they'll
other,
better,
the other team qualify
get
for
the
the Gold
opportunity
Cup.
to play in a Gold Cup,
If
play
they
against quality.
if they win the
Yeah.
playoff.
So we have to look at this holistically in our
Mm-hmm.
national program. This is continuing to happen. When we're asked to qualify in this type of matter, we're not doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and we're consistently not doing it. So
Never-
we have to
Yeah.
we have to fill this gap.
Right.
And I'm not blaming the BFA. I'm not putting the screw at the players but there's a gap that we're not filling.
Yeah.
There's a conversation that we're not publicly or openly having with our players and our BFA and our whole society, and we're missing out.
Let's hope we can address these before the next time we're into a competition.
Yeah.
We have the next round of the draw for the Nations Cup coming up next month, which we'll find out who our opponents will be, and then we will be able to play and so forth. So, we have realistically we have a very busy summer of not just men's senior football, but a lot of national team football.
Yeah.
coming
That's
up.
always
Okay,
great.
it's
That's
always great. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
always great.
It is. It is.
So we look forward to, being able to do these type of things to bring people's awareness to what our national teams will be doing before and after matches. So we look encouraged. Just to let people know, the football show will take place on Monday evening at 7:00. As tomorrow we will find out who the league champions will be in the first division and who else is going up.
Sure.
Interesting times at Southampton Oval, where Young Men Social Club will take on Southampton Rangers, and the title will be decided at the Wellington Oval between Wolves and the Paget Lions. So with that, we say thank you very much. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate your comments. We look forward to obviously Monday night and then Bermuda playing Haiti on Tuesday night.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
Thank you, folks. Have a good night.